Hi 7th graders, I hope you've been doing well. Today we are going to work on 7.6, which is our last lesson of Unit 7. This lesson is all about variability. Your learning target is you can describe the variability of a data set using a box and whisker plot. So let's get started. Our first vocab word is quartiles. Quartiles are values that divide a set of data into 4 equal parts. So if we take a look at this picture, right here in the middle is your median. That's your middle number. Okay, but then we want to break it down even further. Halfway between your smallest value and your middle value, your median, is called quartile 1, the first quartile. Okay, and then on the other end, halfway between the median and the biggest value is called quartile 3, which is the third quartile. So all of this right here from quartile 1 to quartile 3, this is called your median. I'm sorry, not your median. It's called your interquartile range. Okay, and then to find your range, you would subtract this number from this number. All right, so let's take a look at what it actually means. So if we take a look at this set of data, our median is our middle number, and that's this 5. Okay, that is your median. Next, if we get rid of the median, so now we're looking at this much data. What's the middle number there? Right, it's this 4 right here. So that is your quartile 1. Okay, now on the other side we need to find quartile 3. So we're looking at the other set of data. Okay, and the middle number there is 7. So that is your quartile 3, or your third quartile. Alright, so now we're going to practice a bunch of these. So we have this set of data, 4, 8, 9, 13, 19, 21, 22. We need to find the median, first of all. So again, to find the median, that's your middle number, cross off the smallest, cross off the biggest, and keep going. And we have one number left. Your median is 13. Alright, so next we need to find our first quartile. So I'm going to erase all those lines I did. That means we're finding the middle number of these 3 sets of data. Well, the middle number is 8, so that is your first quartile. And then we need to do the same thing with the third quartile. With the 19, 21, and 22, the middle number is 21, so that is your third quartile. Alright, I hope that made sense. I would like you to try number 2 on your own and then come back and check your work. Alright, so let's go ahead and find the median. Cross off your biggest and your smallest and keep going until there's only one left. But uh-oh, we have 2. So remember, to find this middle number, we take 15 plus 21 and divide it by 2. Well, 15 plus 21 gives us 36. And then we need to divide 36 by 2, so we get 18. And that is your median. Okay, now to find quartile 1, we look at the 3 numbers that we crossed off. The middle number is 10, so that's your first quartile. And then your third quartile is 25, because that is in the middle. I hope that made sense, because now we're going to use medians, first quartiles, third quartiles when we create a box and whisker plot. So box and whisker plot is a graph that uses a number line to show the variability. Another word for variability is the spread of a data set. So this is what a box and whisker plot looks like. You put a dot at your least value, so the least value in this set of data was 2, and then you put another dot at the greatest value, so the greatest value was 6. Okay, and then you find your median, your first quartile, and your third quartile. Our median was 4, so we put a dot. Our first quartile was 3, so we put a dot. And our third quartile was 5, so we put a dot. And then we make a box out of our interquartile range, so from first quartile through third quartile. Alright, so now let's keep practicing. Let's make our own. So this time we have 2, 4, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If you want to do it right away, we could graph the smallest number, which is 2. So go ahead and put a dot. And then graph your biggest number, which is 8. Alright, now we need to find the median and the first and third quartile. So find the median, smallest, biggest, smallest, biggest, smallest, biggest. Our median is 5. So you can go ahead and put a dot. That's your median, that's the middle number. Now the interquartile range, our first quartile is 4, our third quartile is 7. So put a dot at 4 and put a dot at 7. Now we should have 5 dots on our number line. Now we need to create our box. So draw a box connecting 4 and 7, and then put a line down your median, and then just connect the other 2 dots. And that is your box and whisker plot. Alright, so now we are going to practice interpreting box and whisker plots. So we need to complete the table for each box and whisker plot. So the first question is asking us for the median. So remember, the median is the line in the middle. It's right there. So that line is somewhere in between 60 and 70. So I would say our median is about 65. It's okay if you said it's 64. It's okay if you said it's 66. It's somewhere there in the middle. We don't know exactly. Okay, and then it's asking for first quartile, and first quartile is this first line. Okay, so that's somewhere in between 40 and 50. I'm going to say it's like 46. Okay, our third quartile is at 100. Now to find our interquartile range, we take quartile 3 minus quartile 1. So we're taking 100 minus 46, and that is 54. Awesome. Next is our least value, so that's the dot way on the left. So that is about 32, I would say. And then our biggest value is at about 160. So now we need to find the range. Take 160 minus 32. We get 128 for a range. I hope that made sense. Now we're going to move on to number 2. If you'd like to try this one on your own and then come back to check your work, I think that's a great idea. Alright, so finding our median. Our median's the middle, so that is between 25 and 27, which is 26. Our first quartile is at 22. Our third quartile is at 31. The interquartile range, remember, is quartile 3 minus quartile 1, so we're taking 31 minus 22, which gives us 9. Our least value is 18, and our biggest value is 33. So then subtract to find your range. We get 15. Alright, and that is how you interpret box and whisker plots. Next, we are going to compare box and whisker plots. So we are going to use these box and whisker plots to answer the following questions. So number 1 is saying the number of touchdown passes that Caleb Case and TJ Lombard threw during each of their first 15 years as starting quarterbacks in the NFL is shown in the box and whisker plot. So letter A is asking which quarterback has the highest median. Alright, so find median. That's this middle line. Is it TJ Lombard or is it Caleb Case? Which one's the biggest? Right, it's the 30. It's Caleb Case, so that's what you write for letter A. Letter B, which quarterback has a larger range? Alright, so remember to find the range, that is your biggest number minus your smallest number. So if we look at Caleb, he's going from like 38 to like 17. So when we subtract those, we get 21. Okay, now let's do TJ's. TJ's is about 48, and we're subtracting it from about 8. So we get 40. Which one is the bigger range? Alright, TJ Lombard. So that is your answer for letter B. Alright, letter C. Which quarterback has a first quartile that is lower? Alright, so remember, first quartile is that first line. Are they about the same, or is one lower than the other? Yeah, I would say they're about the same. So, you would say neither. They're both about the same. Letter D, which quarterback has a third quartile, which is higher? Alright, so taking a look, third quartile is the last line in our box. Whose is higher? Right, Caleb Case's. Moving on to letter E, which quarterback has the least value, which is higher? So remember, least value is the first dot. Which one is higher, TJ's or Caleb's? Right, Caleb's is. Caleb's lowest value is a lot higher than TJ's is. Letter F, which quarterback has the greatest value, which is lower? So the greatest value for Caleb is about 38. The greatest value for TJ is about 48. Whose is, was it higher or lower? Whose is lower? Right, Caleb Case. Two more. What percent of the time did TJ Lombard throw less than 30 touchdown passes? Alright, so we need to find 30 on this number line. And remember, we're looking for TJ. So 30 is about right here. So we need to figure out the percent. To figure out the percent, from here to here, that's 25. From here to here, that's another 25. And from here to here, that's another 25. How many 25s is that? Right, that's 3. So that is a 75% chance that he threw 30 touchdown passes. Or less than 30, I should say. So now we're going to do that same thing for Caleb Case. What percent of the time did Caleb throw less than 30 touchdown passes? So here's Caleb's 30. So again, from here to here, that's 25. From here to here, that's another 25. So how many is that? Right, that's 50%. Alright, so that is how we create box and whisker plots, how we find quartiles, first quartile, third quartile, and also how we interpret box and whisker plots. If this did not make sense, please send me a message on Schoology so I can help you. Otherwise, I hope you have a fabulous rest of your day.